Hello everyone, this is Ryan from the ProfitTrailer team, otherwise known as RF Radio, on the ProfitTrailer official support server on Discord as well as elsewhere on the internet. In this video I'm going to be going over the first of the changes and additions made to parameters in specific configurations, and in this video we're going to start with the Application.properties file. I will do other videos going into the pairs and DC and indicators advanced configurations and what the different parameters do now, some of the new parameters and changes made to existing ones as well. But this one we're just going to focus on the Application.properties file and the two parameters that have been added, and one of them isn't really an addition so much as an activation of it, but we'll get into that when we get there. So first we're actually going to take a look over at the Wiki. I know that I've not been doing that in some of my other videos, but this one we are going to have to take a look at the Wiki to understand this fully. So if I go down to the bottom of my page here, click the Wiki link, and take me to the ProfitTrailer official Wiki. We scroll down on the left-hand side until we find the Setup Files submenu here, and then click Application.properties. What we're looking at here are two particular new parameters here, the server.contextPath and server.exchangeURL. So I'm just going to start with server.context_path. To understand this, all it is really doing is creating a new custom base URL for your web server. And your web server is your web page monitoring interface. That's what this means. So in this particular example here, they're showing with this Binance.btc or this /Binance BTC context path here, all it does is it puts in a little /Binance BTC before the page name. You could do that to, if you want to give it a particular name that you can, reference up there in the URL path or something like that, so you have verification there of what you are, what your particular bot is being accessed on and what it's for. You can do that, or you can just give it a funny name or unique name, whatever you want to do with it. Just be careful about using certain characters, because your web browser might not like having special characters in there. So I would just stick to numbers and letters just to be safe if you're going to pick a new custom base context for all of your web pages on your bot. So now this particular parameter does not change the requirement to run each bot on a different port, just so you know. So it is going to have the same localhost :8081 if you're running it locally. If you're running on a VPS, it'll have your IP address, then the colon, and then the port number, and then it'll have your custom base URL and then page name. Okay, so that's all this is gonna have on here. So it's kind of just a minor thing, but anybody who wants to use a specific context for their pages, you can do that here. In an example, I do have in my brackets here, I do have it set up here. This is just an example. I used the one from the Wiki. I did test this out on my Binance bot. It does work, but just know that if you are trying to access your monitoring page, or at least your login page, you still have to have this. If you define this context path here, you have to have this on the end of your URL in order to even access your login page. So be aware of that. The minute you start defining a context path, this must be in your path when you're trying to access your web dialog for monitoring your bot. So I did discover that. The next line here, server.exchangeURL. Now, if this line is left blank, it uses the built-in exchange URL. Now, what this means is that if we go back over to the Wiki here, you're looking to define a custom URL to be used when a coin pair is clicked. Okay, if you leave it blank, it'll just use the default one, which will take you to that coin pair market on the particular exchange that your bot is running on. If you define a new one, however, you can send it to a new web page or a different address than just the exchange that you're trading on. In my case, I used the trading view, this trading view parameter here for one of my bots. And we can go over and take a look at it real quick here to see how this works. Let's go back over here. Okay, so on my test bot here on Bittrex, just to give you an example of the exchange URL, if we look under the pairs here, I click that, and it goes to Bittrex because I have not changed that path on my test bot. Okay, but if I go over to my Binance bot, on the other hand, but go into possible buy, if I want to go ahead and look at any of these coins here, let's try TrueUSD here. It takes me to TradingView, to my default view for this coin, or my last view for the coin, whichever one I had up. So looks like it's my saved view for this coin. And so yeah, you see that actually redirects you to a different URL. So you don't have to use the exchange URLs anymore to just look at a coin. You don't have to go to Binance or to Bittrex specifically if you're trading on those, or even KuCoin, Huobi, or Poloniex, whichever exchange you're using. Now you can define where you want it to go. So say you wanted to send it to a custom charting, or like any charting website, you could put that in there as long as it works with the particular conventions, a similar convention as what we see here. And what I mean by that, if we go back over here, the similar convention, what I'm talking about is this thing here on the end, the %C and %B. So that's the coin and then the base. In the case of TradingView, that's how it works here. Binance, coin, and then base. So it would be TUSD, BTC on the chart that we just looked at. And as long as it follows this kind of convention here, or even if it's reversed, you can even do that too. Just so you understand that you can use this for more than just TradingView if you want to try that. That's really all there is for the additions to the Application.properties file. You may have seen this server.exchange URL before in version 2.0, but it wasn't yet active. It was being tested for this, for implementation in 2.1. So this is now fully functional, as I just demonstrated between my Bittrex and Binance bots. So that's about all we have for this video. If you like what you see and you want to give us a little thumbs up there, go ahead and hit that like button down below. Please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the subscribe button. And if you want to get updates on when we post new videos and content, go ahead and hit the little bell icon right next to the subscribe button. As always, stay safe, happy trading, and I will see you on the next video, which is probably going to be diving into some more of these parameter updates and changes. If you need any help with your ProfitTrailer client, please consult the wiki at wiki.profittrailer.com. And if you still have more questions, don't hesitate to join us over on the Discord support server following the link on your screen.